All right, welcome everyone to a very, very special class. And this is how you can have a speaking breakthrough in 2021. And one of the very first things you need to do to have that breakthrough is to actually plan your speaking engagements, your speaker vision. And so today I'm going to help you to do that because I'm here to help you get your message out to the world. So grab a piece of paper, grab a pencil. I'm going to walk you through this. Now, planning and goal setting is not new to any of us. I get that. But you'll be surprised how many speakers don't actually plan out their entire year of speaking engagements. They just kind of go along and it's kind of like a hit and miss. If they get a speaking engagement, great. But you cannot attract speaking engagements like a magnet unless you write it down. And so that's the exercise we're going to start today. And hopefully you'll finish it as you just sit down and do the plan. But it's going to be very, very simple. All of you can do it. And we're going to get started. And I've created my plan for my entire year. Look at this. It's pages and pages. How? Because I put down, what I want for each month. So we're going to plan out our month, and then you could just duplicate it for January, February, March, April, May, June, etc. Now, before we do this, I am going to just pull up a spread, not a spreadsheet, but a Word document that we're going to work from. Okay, everybody can see this Word document, right? Okay, so again, we want to create a breakthrough year in speaking. And one of the reasons we want to do it is because, a couple things, let me stop for a minute, is because, okay, Phil's just coming in. Okay, we want to do a breakthrough year because we're going to be in this environment. We've all got that, right? That we're going to be in this environment till probably about 2023, maybe longer. Now, the advantage is this. We can reach more people. We can have more speaking engagements. We can go everywhere and anywhere more than we ever could before. Hi, Philip. How are you? Long time no see. Looking good. Looking good. All right. So we don't want this to be left up to chance. We want to plan out our year and all of the speaking engagements that we could possibly handle, because if we plan it, we will become a magnet. If you don't plan it, it's hit and miss. It may come your way. It may not come your way. So we're going to be very, very intentional this year and plan it out. So let me go back to my Word document for a minute. Let me go back to share. All right. So the first thing you want to think about is, okay, where are there places to speak, right? Because right now you're thinking of some sort of, chambers, right? Chamber of Commerce and all these, Rotaries, but there's so many more places, Rotary places that you can speak nowadays. All right. There's so many networking meetings that we can speak at, but we also have webinars. We've got podcasts. Podcasts are bigger than ever before. We've got virtual events. We've got so many places that we can speak at that we never could before. We've got our interviews. We've got our Facebook lives, and we've got other live stream, right? Other live stream. And there's live streams now like StreamYard and some other ones that you can stream once and it goes to all kinds of different places, right? We've got our Instagram, and you don't have to do all of them, right? We've got the TikTok. Is that TikTok, all kinds of different things. It depends on where your audience is. That's where you want to be speaking the most. But there's never before has there ever been such an abundance of places to speak. And that's what I want you to think about is where you can go to speak. And of course, we still have, churches and some of these other organizations that are having to speak. Tons of women's organizations out there that we can speak at. And they're coming out of the woodwork now, and they need speakers. And now they need speakers, good speakers, trained speakers. And it's amazing. Just the floodgates have opened. That's all I can say. So I just want you to be ready and be planning on getting out there and speak. We've got a couple more people coming in, Excellent. All right. Welcome, welcome. So one of the things I want you to consider this year, adding to your list, I want you to consider podcasting. Now, why podcasting? Because podcasting is a great way to reach millions of people without you ever having to leave your home, without you having to take a shower, without you having to, get dutied up for Zoom. You don't have to do any of that. Podcasting is so huge nowadays. I mean, it's bigger. It's been around since I've been around. It's been around 20 years, but it is bigger than ever now because it's non-invasive. People can listen to a podcast while they're doing their laundry or going to work or doing all kinds of different things. Unlike YouTube, which I need to add here, YouTube, but unlike YouTube, which is, you have to sit and you have to watch and you can't really multitask. So consider podcasting. Why is podcasting so important? All right. It's important because you can use it as leverage. In other words, if you want to interview somebody, then if they have a podcast, you just simply ask, well, can I be on your podcast? And you be on my podcast. And those podcasts, they are up forever and ever and ever. They don't come down. It's kind of like a YouTube video. I had someone that heard me months ago on a podcast I did months ago, and they called me and they wanted me to be on their podcast, and I'm having them on my podcast. So leverage. Podcasting is one of the fastest ways you can leverage your own network and your own speaking and your own podcast and get on other people's podcasts. So it's really, there's nothing that does it quite like that. People will keep coming in. Awesome. All right. Welcome everyone. If you came in a little bit later, we are talking about places to speak in this virtual world. There's no limit as to where you can go to speak. So once you've got that down, I want you to, is there anything that's not on this list that you know about? If there is, put it in the chat box. I want to hear it. Is there anything that you don't see here? Places to speak. Okay. If it's pretty much everything, then what I want you to do is I want you to, in yellow, highlight the ones that you're going to do. All right. So just kind of make your own list or just write it down. You might do some interviews, virtual events. And if so, what kind of virtual events? Live stream, Facebook Live. All right. So I want you to outline what ones are you going to do. You're going to do YouTube. You have to know where these speaking engagements are. Now, a speaking engagement, let me define it for you. It's anything that's 1 minute or more, 60 seconds or more, to a group of 2 or more. All right. So in other words, your 30-second self-introduction that you give at a networking meeting is not considered a speech. It's just an infomercial. But if you turn that into a minute and you give some real value, then it's considered a speaking engagement. So 1 minute, let me write that down. Let me see. One minute to, and and to 2 or more people. All right, so what we're doing is we're defining a speaking engagement as anything that is 1 minute or more to 2 or more people, right? So again, a 30-second elevator speech does not count. A self-introduction doesn't count. But guess what? This means that when you're doing those Facebook Lives and they're over a minute, they count. This means even for some of you that might be in Toastmasters, right? Your Toastmaster speeches count, right? So there's lots and lots of places and things and speeches that you probably haven't even been counting that you're doing over this last, period of time. And again, some of you still work for your corporate presentations, right? Your corporate presentations, of course they count. Your sales presentations, they count. Any of that. To remember the rule of thumb, 1 minute or more to a group of 2 people or more. Why 2 people? Because otherwise you're just having a conversation. It's not really a speech. All right. So go ahead and highlight which one of these you are going to do. And I'm going to show you the way this works. That's very, very easy. Now, for me, I'm going to do 4 podcasts per month, right? 4 per month, right? Now, what is that? If I do that times 12, right? So 4 times 12 months, that's 48 a year. All right. Right now, I know at least 48 engagements. Now, what I did is on my plan, I separated it out to January, February, March, and I put all 4. I put 2 of them are going to be interviews and 2 of them are me talking. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't tell you what that did to my motivation. I've had this podcast for several months now. I've had a podcast for years, but I have a new one, and it would be hit and miss. Once I wrote it down and I decided, okay, I'm going to do 4 a month now, and I'm going to block out the second Wednesday of every month. Now, all of a sudden, I can schedule them with ease. The other thing I was doing, ladies and gentlemen, and I must warn you, is I was trying to have my virtual assistant do the scheduling, but you don't want to do that. You're using this as leverage, right, Brenda? Leverage. So you want to be that star that invites somebody and then and has them invite you. Then you can turn it over to your virtual assistant or whatever to do all the work, but do not have them do the inviting, because it feels like it's a downgrade to your guest instead of an upgrade or an up level. So that was an important lesson I learned. But now, so I can reach out to people in Facebook and Messenger. I can call them up, and of course they're thrilled to death to be on my $1 million podcast. It's a $1 million speaker podcast. So look and see how many podcasts you're going to do. Once I did that, now I'm already booked in January, already booked in February. I know exactly what I'm doing and where I'm going. And I'm motivated, highly motivated again to do this. Now, podcasts don't have to be expensive. Mine's on podbean.com. However, I learned of a new one that's called anchor.com, and that's free. And you can do it right off of your telephone. So it's amazing. So check that out, anchor.com. It is free. Podbean only lets you have like 3 free ones, and why bother, right? So it's like $60 a month. A year. It's not that expensive either, but it's worth it because you can reach more people. Now you can write down, you can go on Apple, you can go on Spotify, you can go on iHeart, and you can find mine. You can go on Podbean and find mine. It's called the $1 Million Speaker Podcast, the $1 Million Speaker Podcast. Just model it. All right. So right now, let's get back to our planning. So that means I'm going to do 48 podcasts per year, right? Now, how many of those are interviews? Well, I'm going to say these are podcasts that I'm on. I'm going to be interviewed, right? So I'm going to say I'm going to have at least one per month, right? One per month. So that's going to equal 12. 12 that I'm going to be interviewed on, right? Facebook Lives, I'm going to do one per week, right? One per week. All right. So one per week, that's going to equal what? Let's say I'm not going to do during the holidays. So let's say 50. That's 50, right? Live stream. Well, right now I'm not going to do any more. I'm not going to do any more of those, right? Now, regular speaking engagements. I said that I was going to speak 4 times a week, right? I'm going to do 2 of them, and I'm going to do 2 other organizations. So that would mean, let's say I'm going to do women's organizations. So that's going to be 2 per month, 2 per month, and that's going to equal, right? 2 times 12, 24. I want to make sure I get it right. 24 speaking engagements. Got it? Now, when it's all said and done, and now I've got to do my own events. I'm going to do at least, how many webinars? I'm going to do at least 1 webinar, probably 2 per month. All right, let's say 2 per month. 2 per month. So now, again, that's 24 for the year. I'm going to speak at some networking events, probably 2 per month. Again, 24, right? And so on. So right now, as it stands, if I just added just this up, and I didn't even put my virtual events on there. All right, that's 182. That's 182. And now virtual events, I've got my $1 million, right? So that's 3 days. So that's at least for 3 speaking engagements. Then I've got my at least 4 one-days. So that is at least 7, right? So 7 more just on the live events, right? But it's probably, let's say 10, right? So now that's 192 speaking engagements. All right. So this is what I want you to do right now. This is the beginning of having that breakthrough year. So let me stop the share right now. And each of you are going to take a few minutes and you're going to write this down. Where are you going to speak? How many times? Now, the beauty of this is when you commit and write it down, you will be like a magnet and it will come in automatically. All right. Hey, Jason, are you going to come in and join us? Or do I have to put the bag over my head?
I'm good.
All right.
I'm good.
Good. Awesome. All right. All right. So take a few minutes, and Jason just went through this exercise with me. All right. So Liz said sorority events, professional networking, women's organizations. Absolutely. Write down where it is you want to go and speak. But here's the beauty. The beauty is that they'll come to you now that you wrote it down. Now that the universe, now that God, whatever you want to call it, knows what you're doing, you will attract it automatically and more. You will attract it and more. But if you never write it down, you'll come to the end of the year and you'll go, you'll look back at the year going, man, I spoke 5 times the whole year. Public speaking works, ladies and gentlemen, when you do it consistently. I mean, imagine for a minute you never having to post a Facebook post again. How many of you would love that? Never having to do any social media and not feeling guilty, right? Am I the only one? I would love a world without social media. It'd be so much just cooler, because now what happens? We go on social media and what do? We judge ourselves by what other people are doing, right? Right? Hey, they look like they're having a better time than we are. Don't do that. Don't do that. Go on there. You post what you're doing, but don't look at anybody else's posts. Just shut your eyes. Don't look at them, right? Because it makes us crazy. It makes us crazy. Makes us wonder if we're not doing enough, if we're not enough. All right. So I like a world without social media, except for Facebook Lives. Who needs it? Who needs it? I want you to get out there and speak live and speak to groups and with real people that you can see, touch, and know, and forget that whole social media business. All right. So we're going to go around the room. I want to see about how many speaking engagements you're going to do for the year. So we said I was going to do 182. 182. Now, there's room for improvement. But here's the thing. I want you to start keeping track. Every single month. Don't wait till the end of the year and try to go back and tally it up. Every single month, I want to see if you are on course. And if you did approximately, like if I was doing 182 and I said divided it by 12, that's approximately 15 speaking engagements. So if I get down, and I'm looking over there because I got a big year calendar. And if I look and at the end of my month, it's getting kind of like I have 13 and it looks like I'm not going to get 15. What am I going to do? I'm either going to do a Facebook Live or I'm going to put on a little webinar like this or some sort of a training class. Again, 2 or more people. What is the rules? Write it in the chat box. What is the rules? 2 or more people, 60 minutes. Right, Jason, 60 minutes.
That's right.
So you can all do the right 1 minute and 2 or more people. Absolutely. Very good. So you could just do that easily as long as you have a couple of your friends. Right? So, hey, Philip, how you doing? I haven't seen you for a while.
I'm doing good, Arvee. How are you doing?
Doing great. Doing great.
Yeah, I do a lot of speaking on twice a week because I do teaching, online teaching. Yep.
Teaching counts.
Yep.
Teaching counts. Absolutely. Good for you. Good for you.
Just to be clear, Arvee, it's 60 seconds with every 2 guests, correct? Counts as one speaking.
2 people and at least for 1 minute or more.
1 minute. Okay.
Yeah. So in other words, the 30-second elevator speech doesn't count. The 30-second introduction doesn't count, even though there's 10 or 15 people, because it's a commercial and you're not adding value. But when you have 1 minute, you're going to start to add at least a tip or something of value. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. So let's go around the room. Let me hear what, just again, how many you think overall, and real quick, what are they? Because we have a lot of people here and I have more that I want to teach you. So Jason, we'll start with you. Again,
Okay.
this is a commitment and you're all telling us what your commitment is. So Jason, what is your commitment to have a breakthrough speaking year in 2021?
Okay, I'm committed to that number we created on our last call. I'm committed to 104. And I'm also, given that you've just repeatedly have encouraged me to create speeches on Instagram and Facebook Live, that count will increase to 150 minimum. So the grand total will be up to 254 and counting for the year, but that with an emphasis on that minimum of 150 Instagrams.
Beautiful, beautiful. And one reason why I suggested that to Jason is because his target market is college students. Where do they hang out? Instagram, right? They think Facebook is for old people. So you don't want to target them there. And it is for old people, right? I'm one of them. Okay. All right. So so very good. So write that down. Keep track of it every single month. All right. Let's go to Brenda Darby. Brenda, what is your goal?
This is all new to me, and I'm trying to add it up. And I have two teaching engagements, 8 weeks. 2 of those, and I have diversity conversations. I want to do 2 a month, 2 for my organization and 2 with partnerships with other organizations. And retreats, 2 retreats. I'm probably at 68 or something like that in the count.
Okay, 68 so far.
Yeah.
Those speaking engagements that are like 6 weeks, right? That's not
Yes.
one, right?
Right.
You can either count that per segment, like
Oh, I see what you're saying.
or per day, whatever makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't, it's not equal to just one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's worth a lot more than that. So you can
Thank you.
number. Yeah. All right, great. Excellent. All right. Alice, what do you have?
I'm going to start with podcast. I haven't started any speaking yet. So,
Well, this is how you start, is set a goal, right?
yeah.
Everything that we want, and I know Alice and I've been going back and forth a little bit, but Alice, you have that message that you need to get out there, and you know you do.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's uneasy and uncomfortable, and that's why I'm here. So at the end of the call, I'm going to give you all an opportunity to work with me, should you decide to do so, to help you to, not only push you to get out there, but to actually train you how to speak so that you're comfortable asking for those speaking engagements. Because you don't want to do what I did when I first started, speaking 30 years ago. Because I didn't have any fear, I just went out there and started speaking. And I failed miserably. I almost lost my job because I didn't bring in any business, because I didn't know any better. I thought because I could flap my jaw, that made me a speaker. Oh yeah, I can speak, blah, blah, blah. Well, speaking, like every other industry, has to be respected and trained, right? Just like technology, which is what Philip is into, financial, which is what Jason is into, right? So we have to respect it and get trained. But the beauty here is that once you're trained, you have it forever. You have those skills forever. You just have to keep using it, because it's like any kind of fitness. If you don't keep working out, you're going to lose your fitness in 2 weeks. So you could get rusty if you don't speak for a couple months. But once you get back on that treadmill, it all comes back to you. But you have to get trained. We have to train the brain. All right. So you keep hanging out, Alice. And it's time for you to get some coaching and get over this kind of hump. You're just waiting. All right. Okay. So let's go back to, so we'll come back to you, Alice. You think about what you want your goal to be. And again, I want all of you to level up, right? Even if you're not feel like you're trained yet, or you're good enough yet to go out there, that's not the conversation. The conversation is, what do you want to attract? All right, let's go to Liz.
Okay, I plan on doing 60, could be more. However, a third of that will be done between now and June, and 2/3 after, because as you know, I'm in the process of going to be moving, and I have to be realistic. The first 4 months, the first 4 months of this coming year, I'm going to be extremely busy because I may have to go back and forth to Florida and pack and sell a lot of stuff. And so I'm going to start focusing on podcast, and I need to do some Facebook Live webinars. I'm going to, I think this is a great opportunity in regards to getting out there speaking when I go to Florida, because I'm going to be able to connect with the professional women there and some other organizations. So I'm really going to be focused on both the electronic technology virtually, and also connecting for future in-person events also, because I'm sure there'll be opportunities down the road for me to do that too. But it's a variety, and as I said, 1/3 before June and 2/3 after.
Beautiful. What is the overall goal? What is the
60.
number?
60
in a year? Okay.
Yes.
You'll be able to do that. Piece of cake.
Yes.
So Liz speaks on leadership, and she just spoke at the SCORE Women Business Owner Conference last October, and that's the kind of speaking engagement she's going after is, you know, leadership, women. So very, very, very specific organization. Excellent. All right, good job. Now, anybody that doesn't have their camera on, I really hope you can turn it on and just be with us, because I've noticed I've lost 3 or 4 people, and they were people that weren't joining us. You know, it's hard to feel like you're a part of it if we can't see you. So Deborah, yay, there's Deborah. Awesome, and there's Catherine. Hey, Catherine, honey, how have you been? I haven't. Oh, okay. You want turn on your video. I mean your audio. How
Yep.
you doing?
I'm getting better. As I say, I'm a mess. I've been unpacking. I moved 2 weeks ago.
Oh my goodness.
The
Right.
holidays are rough with my husband gone, but I'm forging forward.
Good. Well, we'll all keep you in our prayers. So this is Catherine's first Christmas without her husband. So yeah, I'm sure that was very difficult for you.
Yep.
But you're here, and you know, we'll just lift you up and pray that you just have enough courage and to move forward. This next year is going to be better than
Yep.
ever for you. It's time for you to step up, because I know you have a powerful message. When you're ready, you know, when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, good. Let's give her a big hand. She's ready.
2021 is my year.
Good. 2021. Good. Good for you. All right. Okay. Anybody else want to join us? That'd be awesome. We just love to see you. But if not, okay, then I'll just wear this bag over my head for the rest of the time. You know? All right. Now, how many of you were able to come to $1 Million? Do you still have your paddles? I keep mine right by my right. Okay. Okay. All right. I guess some of you didn't get to million. Now, Philip went to the live $1 Million, and not like this year, but a year ago. He went to the live one. All right. So I digress. Now, okay. So Liz is cool. We've got Brenda. Did you? Yeah, we got Brenda. We got Alice. Let's go to, and forgive me, do I spell it Meradies? Is that it? Meradies? Do I pronounce it Meradies? Or did I totally botch it up?
Yeah. Marides or Des.
Marides.
Or Des.
Or Des. Okay.
Des. Yeah.
Okay, how about you?
What? About 96 per year for usually do corporate presentations.
Good. Awesome. All right, Ricky.
There I am. I have about 80 for the year, and I have corporate presentations. I'm in a women's group called Polka Dot Powerhouse, and so I do presentation for them. I actually have a YouTube channel, and I do something every week for that, so that's 52. I have interviews that I do in the summer. It's a summer series that I do, so I have 14 of those to do, and I do four live events through another platform. But this year I'm stepping out. I'm going to work on the podcast thing.
Good. Good. Now tell us, Ricky, a little bit about what you do.
Not much if I can help it, and depends on who you ask. So I own a training company, and so I do lots of trainings for people, and I have a team of people that work with me. But I also, like I said, I started a YouTube channel about 3 years ago, and so that takes up a lot of time. But then I also do Medicaid. I do Medicaid insurance training for a Medicaid insurance carrier, and I take care of nursing facilities. So I have 106 nursing facilities in 46 counties in Texas. So
wow. And
I know it sounds a lot, but not anymore because I don't have to travel. Hooray!
Yay. So what is your YouTube channel called? What is
It's called Faith on Friday. Is what it's called. Yeah, it's hilarious. And so we've been doing it. This is our 4th year. 2021 will be our 4th year. And it is just an eclectic group of topics. They're little short videos on everything. It's crazy. So we've been doing that. And then we started a a summer series called Faith on Friday Extra, where we interview people for the channel, and we interview everything from sex therapists to, I mean, just, it's crazy. It's so fun, but we do a lot of that. And then I have 3 live paid events that we do through Eventbrite. And so I do those every year.
Wow. So Faith on Friday, everybody look for that on your YouTube channel.
Oh, that'd be cool. Thanks.
You're welcome. Everybody give her a thumbs up. Yay! Awesome. All right, Philip, what's your goal?
Well, my goal, a lot has changed since I left the, we were discussing about me leaving the county.
Did
So,
you leave?
Yeah, this month. Yeah, so I practically retired from the county. I'm working up here. I'm 10 minutes, about 20 minutes from my house now. But the opportunity was presenting itself for me to be able to start working on projects and presenting them. So now I'm working for a medical group, and it's about to give me the opportunity to start doing presentations on compliance in the healthcare industry, with use and technology. So things just popped up today. So I've been at the job for about 3 weeks now, and they saw my paperwork when I wrote 2 books. So they seen my books and they like, hey, we want you to just go for it. Just go for it. So I say this year with the teaching and seminars that's coming up and so much stuff that I'll be working on, I say I want to hit, my goal is to at least hit about 120, at least 120, even though I probably could go further than that. I want to just hit that goal of 120 using podcasts, the virtual training I do now, as well as corporate speaking engagements and Toastmaster speaking engagements as well.
Beautiful. Good.
Yep.
Good job. That's good. It's a good goal. I'm glad you're out of the county.
Yeah, I don't have to commute. They had a snow storm. People were stuck on the freeway for 4 hours, 5 hours, and I'm so glad I don't have to commute anymore after 12 years of commuting.
Amen. Amen. Love that.
I got my life back. I lost 10 pounds just by being away from there for four weeks. So I'm good.
Well, I was going to say something, but I didn't want to embarrass you, but it was like, you look different. Look at that face. What a good looking man you are. Wow.
Yep. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Let's go to Deborah Stewart. There.
Oh, hi, Arvee. Hi, everyone. Oh, my goodness. I'm so excited. I almost missed the class, so I'm so excited that I'm here. Wow. Let me start. I know at least a minimum of 100 because I have a life coaching group that I speak to twice a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I life coach women. And then I have my own women's ministry. We do virtual events every other month. And what else? I teach. So I have a teaching assignment coming up. So I really try to get to 100, but I've really been researching a lot on the podcasting. So Arvee, you've kind of really pushed me over the top now with that.
Yeah.
So I really want to get more into the podcasting and interviews because that's the way to go. I'm not a Facebook Live person, so I don't like Facebook Live. I don't like the social media, but in the virtual world that we're in now, it's really, and so, being a part of your $1 million speaker, I got to get there. I just been so busy trying to do work and my other ministry and stuff like that. But my goal is to hit 100 minimum.
Good. So what I want you to do, Deborah, to make sure that you get it is to separate that per month. Otherwise,
Yes.
you'll come to the end of the year and you go, I don't have my 100, and you won't have time to make it up. So separate that 100, divide it by 12, or at least divide it by 10 months, and then you'll know exactly what you need to hit.
Okay.
And again, look into the podcasting, everybody, commit. Most people will start a podcast, they do 10, and then they quit. They give up.
Oh, no.
Yes, yes. So don't do that. Do it and just keep going. You may not know that it's doing something, but then one day someone will come along that says, you know what, I heard you on Arvee Robinson's $1 Million Speaker podcast, and I really loved what you said, and I want you on mine. I mean,
Okay.
it happens like that.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game. So the more podcasts you're on, the more people hear you, the more you're going to have that kind of effect. Now, I was on my podcast. I had somebody that I interviewed on my podcast. One of my, not a client, but kind of like a strategic partner heard him. And then he told this other guy that he knew who has a radio show. And then that guy wanted both of us on his radio show. So I just was on this guy's radio show. I mean, you just never know, but trust that it happens. You just got to put yourself out there, create that content, be everywhere, everywhere possible that you can be as often as you can be it. And things will happen. Like it'll be a breakthrough year for you. Okay, let's go to Catherine. What's your goal, Catherine?
I'm gonna shoot for 118 minimum. Because I plan on resuming my podcast, which it's been about 2 years now. And I already have a lot of people that want to be on the podcast. And what I do is interview them on how they help other people. I do my angel card reading in the beginning, and then we kind of have a conversation and have fun with it. And I've already been invited to do interviews on other people's shows, but I haven't been ready. Facebook Live, I did it a couple times, but everything fell apart on me. So I plan on doing that also. So 4 to 8 podcasts a month, at least 1 interview a month, Facebook Live 1 a week. And what I plan on doing with that is doing a 1-card angel card reading to introduce people to that part of me. Women's organizations, anytime that I join them, we all get to share our information, what we do. So that's another place. And also networking. I want to get involved in a lot more networking groups and start talking to a lot more people that way.
Beautiful. Good. Yeah. And just as you're ready, just join, 1 a week, find one that you like, because not all networking groups are created equal. Right. Yeah. There's some of them I really enjoy, and some of them I just am not a fit. It's just like, these people are weird. They're weird. Yes. I don't want to be a part of this group. I'm telling you, there's some crazy, crazy groups out there. So find one you're comfortable with.
And I also want to create some webinars on mental illness.
On what?
Because we have to, mental illness.
Okay.
Suicide prevention, we have to get the word out there, because I've been there recently as November. And with COVID, there's too many people that are committing suicide or thinking about it. So we have to prevent it.
I agree. And with all this isolation, it can really make anybody go a little cuckoo. Yeah. So I think that's perfect timing for you to bring that up and tell everybody how they can be in this environment and still stay sane.
Right.
Yeah. Good for you.
I've been there myself.
Yeah.
You know what? Not this November. I'm already a year behind. It feels like my husband died yesterday, last November.
You know what? You are right where you're supposed to be. You're not behind and you're not ahead. You're right exactly where you're supposed to be.
I know.
Okay.
God laid out a plan and I'm just following it.
There you go. There you go. Okay. All right. Let's go to some people that don't have their videos on. So Linda Boney, do you want to share your plan with us? Yay! Yay!
Don't have much. Let me wrote it down. I want to work on some podcasts. Well, I actually have a YouTube channel I've been working on
Oh, good.
for my feng shui. So I have that already started. So I want to do more of that. And then also do some podcasts because I used to do that before years ago when I was doing my radio show. And I really miss doing that. So I'd like to do that again.
And why did you stop?
The show had the producer, it was like a particular run for about a year. So the producer had ended it, and then she wanted me to do it again, but she wanted to charge, and then I just couldn't afford the prices she was asking for.
You don't need nobody. If anybody asks you for some money to be on their podcast, I want you to run. All right. Because, they're saying that it's some big show and they have to pay for sponsors. Well,
Right. That's exactly what it was.
They can get sponsors to pay. They don't need you as a guest to pay. There's too many free ones out there.
Right.
So yeah, run. That's, you don't need it that bad. You don't
No.
Create your own. That's what I say. Create your own, Awesome. So what is your going to be called, Linda? If you recreated it, what's it going to be called?
Say the Inspire Your Life Your Way with Feng Shui.
I love that. I don't think there's enough out there on feng shui. So which school do you use? The Form School or Compass or what?
The BTB, the Three-Door Bagua.
Is it the black hat one?
Black hat one, yes.
Okay, got it.
Black hat set, yes.
Got it. Yeah, and that's not something we hear of very often. So I would encourage you to bring that out. And,
Okay.
I studied it years and years and years ago myself, but not to do as a business, but just to do for myself.
Right.
Yeah. So good for you, Linda. I didn't know that. Awesome. All right, let's see if anybody else wants to join us that doesn't have their camera on before we finish up tonight. Diane, Allison, any takers? Okay. All right, so no takers. All right, so let me come back to here for a minute. And I want to do one other thing to show you the extent of my plan here. Okay, everybody can see this? Oh, I didn't share, did I? There we go. All right, everybody can see my little gizmo, right?
Yes.
All right, beautiful. Now, I used it during $1 Million. Now, whenever you use something like this, it's a little document camera, and it really takes the place of, and remember my gloves, any of you that came to $1 Million, why do I wear gloves? I'm inventing them, my Zoom gloves, because if you saw my hand under this magnifying glass, you would be freaked, right? Because everything's magnified, right? So your youthful hands don't look so useful under this kind of environment. Okay, so this is my plan. Now, one of the things that I just want to kind of point out is, so I did kind of like a whole big thing and then broke it down each step by step. My goal is 175 speeches, right? And then I broke it down 4 podcasts. I have Passionately Speaking, 4 blogs, right? And some of them aren't speaking, of course, coaching, mini courses, social media. So everything that you want to put in the plan goes into the plan, right? And then I did it for February, and sometimes I had additional stuff for February, right? And then so on. So this is what I want you to do, right? And then I added things like I'm going to add a video person to create 5 courses. I've got a corporate training that I've been hired to do. So I have to create some videos for them every quarter. So you can add things as you go, but the key here is to make sure it's on the plan. And once it's on the plan, then you'll work that plan. It'll be an attraction tool. All right, it'll be a traction tool for you. Let me stop that. So don't stop here. Don't stop now, or you're not going to bring it in. Carry the plan forward. It's only going to take you like an hour to put it all down, and then look at it every single month, every single week if you need to, and see if you're on the plan. You can make other goals for other things, but again, if you want to be that speaker, you want to set those goals and you want to set them up immediately. Let me go back to my sharing my screen. Okay, so now let's come back to here. Now, the one thing, we only have a few more minutes. I know it went really fast. I really appreciate all of you joining me, because I'm here for one purpose only, and that is to create fabulous speakers like yourself and get you out there in the world and push you a little bit, because you are all far more capable of doing more speeches than you're giving yourself credit for. And what happens is life gets in the way, you let it get in the way, and you get busy, as opposed to having speaking be your number one priority. Number one priority. As you know, public speaking is the one activity that can make you the most money, that can help you to reach the most people, that can have the biggest impact in people's lives. All right. And you may, as I said a minute ago, you may never even know the lives that you're changing. So there was this, and I don't always know. I mean, I just by faith get out there and do what I'm supposed to do. But this, before COVID happened, I was going to a speaking engagement, and I spoke there the year before. It was a book expo, and I had 20 minutes to speak. And as I'm driving there, I get this text from the host that said I got 10 minutes. Well, I have to be honest with you, in that few seconds, I'm like, right? I'm like thinking to myself, I don't need the practice. 10 minutes, come on. But I decided that I was already dressed. I'm already driving there. It was a Saturday, so it was all good, right? It wasn't that far from my home. So I graciously went there to find out that I wasn't speaking. It was like 9 a.m. I wasn't speaking till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But I was gracious, and I just hung out, and I went to all the vendor booths, and I bought their stuff, and just was a real, participant. And then they had these 30-minute breaks in between speakers and activities. So now I'm at the end of the day. It's right before last break, 30 minutes. And so the gal that event it was walked by, and I just stopped her. I said, everybody, and there was no crowd. Only the vendors really were the crowd. So I said, I think everybody's visited everybody's booth once or twice. They said, how about if you cut the break short and give me the 10 minutes back? And so she said, okay, right? And so that's what you always want to do. Negotiate, is be graceful, even if your time is cut, and maybe you can make it up later. So now it's my time to speak. She said, okay, and I got my 10 minutes. And so I went up and I spoke. And when I came down from the stage, because there was a little platform stage, this young girl comes up to me and she tells me that she went there the year before, and she bought my book. And she said that she gave it to her father, and her father has dementia. And it gave her father such hope that he could speak on dementia, that it really was exciting. But he lost it. He lost his book and he can't find it. So she came hoping that I would be there so that she could buy another book. Of course, I gave her a book, gave one for her, gave one for her father, and said, do me a favor. When you give it to him, film it for me, on your phone, videotape it, not tape, video it. You got to watch your language. Boy, you could date yourself. Video it and send me a copy. And she did. And the man was just incredible. Tears in his eyes. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. He couldn't believe that he had my book once again in front of his hands. And later we got to meet a month or so later at another event. But that's the impact that your message has on people. And you may never, ever know. But when you do, in those rare chances like that one, where you find out It is gold. There is nothing better. There's no better feeling. It's better than sex. I'm telling you that. Well, maybe not that, but pretty close. It's pretty darn close. It's better than chocolate, that's for sure. So I encourage all of you to learn more, to hang out with me more, to this is the year to not wait anymore. Don't put it off. Don't think you're going to learn by osmosis. That's not how it works. But instead, be intentional and learn. And I just want to, just give you, just a food for thought. If any of you are interested in working with me over the next 3 months, it's only $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month, or you can pay $2,500 up front and save $500, right? So 12 sessions for $2,500. You can't find that anywhere. And Jason knows. Jason's been in my mastermind class where he's paying 10 grand for a year. So just let's get started. Let's do something. And if you purchase it right now, right, you can claim it on this year's income tax, this professional development. Yeah, Liz has been in my mastermind as well for a year. And so just do something. Take advantage of this time. Learn how to speak. Learn how to speak right. Learn how to, don't do what I did, step out on stage thinking that you can speak because you can flap your jaw, or that you took one speech class in college years ago. Speaking has changed, and it's constantly changing in this world, and you need to keep up with it. And I'd be happy to help you, to teach you, to take you under my fold, and to make sure that you are living the dream and that you are living your breakthrough year of 2021. So all you have to do is just reach out to me, my cell phone. I'll just put it in the chat. So it's 909-645-9147. We can have a conversation, see if it's right for you. Again, it's a minimum coaching, 3 months. You can join me for longer if you like. But again, it'll take a minimum of 90 days to create that signature talk and create that professional story, and to get you out there speaking like a professional, like a persuasive influencer that will get you clients, business, and more speaking engagements. Okay? Amen? All right. Well, you've all been terrific. Good luck with your plan, the beginning of your plan. It's so exciting. And I hope to see you out there in the circuit, speaking and sharing your brilliance with the world. All right. Well, we're going to end again. Reach out to me, 909-645-9147. That's my cell. And we'll just talk about what does it look like for you, and what is it that you would like to do in this next year. And we'll get you out there. All right.
Beautiful.
Good to see all of you. Have a happy, safe New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, Arvee. Happy New Year. Happy New Year,
New
everyone.
Year.
Thank you,
Thank
Arvee.
you.
Happy New Year, everyone.